We've seen
Yes.
500,000 up to almost a million people marching against what's happening in Palestine, and the leaders and the politicians, they don't care. It doesn't affect them in any way.
At that time, yes, we were
I see.
blessed with enlightened leadership. That is why we managed to achieve this.
Okay.
Yeah, that is it. We were blessed with enlightened leadership.
You said that you are happy with how Black History Month has evolved today. And I want to know why. Because based on what you started with and the purpose, do you think it's achieving that purpose?
I'll come to that. We
Uh-huh.
got October instituted and we launched 1st October at
Hmm.
the council chambers at the Greater London Council. And we chose the month of October because of the significance important of October to us as African people. The autumn equinox is very important to us. During that period is the period of the harvest, and there is plenty. So in the old kingdoms, all the chiefs, sub chiefs, and all other people will gather at the capital and
Mm,
they take stock of what has
mm,
happened in the kingdom over the past year. And where there are difficulties and problems and all that, they are resolved. So it is a period of self examination.
oh, I like that. That's not how we've been using it though.
I'm coming to that. The period of self examination.
Okay.
And then also, we chose October because of Marcus and children. And remember when I said that we gathered children at Royal Albert Hall for them to listen to their historical lectures to know what they have done in this world and what the world owes to them. So it was children. Then we said that February is too cold. And then October, the children had just come back from the long vacation, the summer
Mm,
holiday. There's a lot of camaraderie, and the children are not saddled with exams
hmm.
and tests.
Yeah.
Their minds are fresh.
Mm,
They can absorb instruction. That's why we chose October. October also, when you go out into the countryside, driving along the countryside in the valleys and the hills and all that, then you look at the changing colors of the trees, the leaves, the canopy, the yellows, the browns, the green. It's all colorful.
mhm.
It shows the diversity, the beauty. You understand?
Yeah.
That's why we chose the month of October. And the
Mhm.
whole meaning is this: we take stock of the
Mm,
state of Black Britain. October is the period that we pause because you cannot just be continue running around and living your life and all that. You have to pause and examine your life. October is selected for us to pause and examine our life, our relationship with one another, starting from
mhm.
the home, because Marcus experienced the trauma that the mother faced was at home. So, how is it at home? What is the relationship between the siblings, the
Mm,
parents, with your cousins, with your uncles, your aunties, with
mm,
your neighbor, with your community? That is what we have to look at. The school, the responsibility rests more at home than the school
mm,
because the child is yours and you have to bring the child up for the child to be holistic in the child's learning and upbringing, to have a sense of who that child is. You remove that trauma that they face in school because children can be very cruel. And at that
yeah.
time also was the period that you had Bob Geldof and what they did for Ethiopia, the raising the funds for Ethiopia and all that. Live Aid,
Band-Aid.
the images that were being cast on televisions and all that was not very nice. So
Yeah.
children could be very cruel. And at that
Yeah.
period, too, I also experienced it. Children will not like to relate to Africa at all. Something had to be done to turn that. It starts from the home.
Yeah. That concept thing that Bob Geldof did is actually trying to redo it now. Is trying to bring it back and do another version. And there was a conversation on the news recently where he approached Fuse ODG, a Ghanaian artist, to join in the revampment of that song. And Fuse said he would join if they changed the lyrics. They changed the lyrics and they changed the images, and it doesn't give the same negative impact that it had then. Because the impacts that you talked about when you said kids didn't want to be associated with Africa because of that Christmas song or whatever, it's something that a lot of people felt. Fuse was like, we need to change that. We can't have this negative portrayal of the whole as a place that's constantly suffering. But Bob Geldof isn't having it. Bob Geldof isn't happy with it. That's something that's happening right now as we speak on the news in pop culture. Everything you said is quite important. And I like the way you mentioned that Black History Month was supposed to be a month where we take stock of the progress we've made the past year. I'm not sure if that's how we use it, but that's a good way to use it. I think if we were using it like that, it can be used to empower communities beyond just raising awareness. It could actually be used to empower communities, Black communities. Written, it can be used for action. It can be used for policy change, for education. If we were using it the way you said, with a month to take stock and track the progress with.
Yeah, then you plan for the year coming. Then
Mm,
you take stock. That's the cycle. That is our life. You have to pause. Black History Month is your space. It's
mm,
your space. And you have to control it. You have to provide the content. You have
mm.
to enrich it.
Yeah.
If someone is criticizing Black History Month, that
Mm,
Black History Month has been taken over by the local authorities, have been taken over by the museum, the banks, and all this and all that. But ask yourself, can Black History Month exist without people or human beings who are organizing these activities that you are criticizing?
mm.
They live with you in the communities. They don't live in cyberspace. They live with you in
No.
the communities.
Yes, very true.
So if Hamid, you are organizing something, then I see that it could be done better this way. What I do is that after the event, I come to you and congratulate you and tell you that, oh, I have resources and I can help you enrich it. And you discuss. That is what we have. It's our space. And we have to
Mm,
fill the month with rich content. It is our responsibility. It's ours. Please, it's your space. We have created the space for you. One whole month of reflection, of taking stock and planning to make our world better, to make the home better.
go on.
My disappointment very much is the I come back here and I hear about knife crimes and guns and all these, our
Mm,
children stabbing each other and all these things. And it
mm,
worries me. The child who will pick up a knife and go out and cause mayhem and injury, fatal injury to
mm.
a colleague, where did that child come from? He comes from a home.
Comes from our communities as well.
He
Yeah.
comes from a home. That child comes from a home. So everything begins at the home. That is why we have to take stock also at the home to see our relationship, our
Mm,
children. Are
mm,
we parenting them well? What is our responsibility? That is what the month is about. Then you say, the hell no. No child of mine is going to get into this trouble because there's no problem child, but a problem parent or a problem home. And I am very angry with the churches. I'm very angry with the churches because our parents, the children's parents, have to work some 2 jobs, 3 jobs. They do not have quality time with their children. The
mm,
children break out from school between 3 o'clock, and by the time the parent come home at about 7, 8 o'clock, during that period, the child is subjected to peer pressure and a whole lot of things. We don't have places for them to go to be taken care of and taken off from the streets. Then the weekends,
mm.
the churches take over. The
Yeah.
weekend, the churches take over because the mothers and other will go to the church to go and service and clean up, do this, do this. So hardly do we have quality time with our children. And hardly do we listen to the children. We don't have time to listen to the children. and the
Mm.
pains that you are going through. And Black History Month is a month that we have to think about these things. Why are our children misbehaving out there? And what do
Mm.
we do about it? And the churches, you have all these spaces. Why don't you organize something for the children of your congregation? Why don't you organize something for them? You
I
have
see.
money, you live in mansions, you live in this. What about these kids? You have responsibility towards them. I'm very angry with the pastors and the bishops and all these people. Yes, the religious leaders.
I
I'm
see.
angry with them. I'm angry with them. They have failed us. They have failed us and they are failing the children.